CNN conservative commentator Scott Jennings found himself at the center of two viral moments from Monday's broadcast of CNN Newsnight.
The first one was a fiery exchange about ICE between Jennings and Democrat activist Cameron Kasky. Jennings started by arguing that ICE has to chase down illegals, that's a quote, which prompted this response from Kasky.
You don't get to say the word illegals
anymore.
But
you have the diverse.
The percentage.
Who are you to tell me what I can and can't? I've never met you, brother. Listen, I can say whatever I want. They're illegal aliens.
I understand that your job is predicated on just getting increasingly more demented every single week, and that the audience comes back to see if perhaps
make your point.
My point is that you're saying the word illegals, but you don't even really know what's happening. Or actually, I think you do, and you're doing this on purpose. But
yes,
the truth
because
is,
I want the law enforced.
They are not just targeting illegal immigrants. They are targeting natural-born U.S. citizens.
They are not.
That is a fact. You cannot deny.
Later in the show, another viral moment happened when panelist Lee McGowan scolded Jennings for a seemingly nonchalant attitude over the delayed release of the Epstein files. Take a look.
But they should follow the law, but let's not get our knickers in a twist here. There's no
let's not
punishment
get our
for this.
knickers in a twist over child rape. Why are you talking like that? It's insane. Like, it's insane. The Epstein files is a multinational, multi-generational child and woman sex trafficking ring. So your attitude right now, you're sort of like, well, shucks, devil begun, is just horrifying to me. Every woman in the world that is watching this, why are you acting like you have no idea what's happening here?
Both clips drew a lot of reactions on social media. Jennings was praised by some of his fellow conservatives, but those on the left blasted him. Journalist Mehdi Hassan wrote on X, quote, "It's embarrassing that a national news network pays Scott Jennings to opine on the news in this sanctimonious, dishonest, fact-free, hectoring way each night."
I was Mehdi Hassan. I wouldn't call anyone else sanctimonious. Conservative radio host Eric Erickson said, "God bless Scott Jennings for willingly suffering through this nightly struggle session."
I want to start with Go Lee. That was classic.
Oh,
classic.
Oh God,
Very classic.
That's so obnoxious.
She acted the same way Scott acts to him. She mocked him like, "What you're saying sounds silly to me, so I'm going to make you feel silly." He sits there and makes smug faces.
He doesn't do impressions of people.
Okay, but she's like, "You sound ridiculous. We're talking about serious charges."
She sounded ridiculous.
She's
ranting about child
the
sex.
root of Epstein and why people want more information about this.
Okay,
the
he's
root
dead.
Of it. I know, but it's
prosecuted and he's dead.
But it's not nothing to glaze. It's not something to glaze over. She's saying there's plenty of people, women and children included, that would like answers because parents want to protect their kids in the future to make sure nothing like this ever happens because they're protected by rich people and government officials or working with some foreign government to happen.
He's dead,
and
she's
if it happens
in prison.
once, your example earlier. If it happens once, it can happen again. You said that any issue happening once,
and anyone else will prosecute. But the guy who did it is dead, and his accomplice is in prison, and people are trying to pretend that somehow Trump is involved when he's not, or Bill Clinton's involved and he's not either. So I'm not making this a partisan thing. People have spun up their imaginations about these things, and she's ranting about child sex victims. This is made up. It's made up.
No,
it's made up.
The fact is, 1% of the documents have been released. So release the other, I think, 1 million pages. There's 500 different lawyers and officials that are reviewing all these documents. Release them all. Release them all so
Let's
people can be
release the rest of the
satisfied.
moon landing documents too. At this point,
okay,
can we
fine.
see all the
everything? And also,
and that report on aliens? I know you've been waiting for. Fake.
I don't care who, and I think the point that Lee kept going on is I don't care if you bring Clinton to the stand and make him testify. I don't care if you call Trump. People just want answers. This is not a partisan thing. Give all the answers.
No, people
like
want.
You were mandated by the law.
I don't agree with you. People want a partisan
witch hunt. No, people in Congress
witch hunt.
want a partisan witch hunt. That's why they keep releasing silly pictures that nobody cares about. People want information. People want to trace the money. People want to see why this man was protected. See if he's connected to any foreign government. People want all the information so they could really understand what happened here and how we could avoid ever letting this happen again. And if there are people that fall in the process, let them fall. There are people that fall in the process, let them fall. That's what I think Lee's point was. And the other guy, he was pointing out that people are not illegal. Illegal is not a human being. It's not how you describe somebody. That describes an action.
They're
if you drive drunk, if you drive drunk, then you are driving drunk. That's the action you do.
No, you're a drunk driver.
No, but you're not an illegal driver.
You're a drunk driver.
No, exactly. So you're not an illegal. My point is that there are laws across the board. You don't just start calling people illegal and dehumanizing
them. So ridiculous.
They're not illegal. What does that mean? They're people. Illegal is a thing. You're defining an action, not a person.
Illegal, we should just use the language we know instead of changing it. They're illegal immigrants.
No, it's
I'm
the
going to say
language that was
illegal
made up to
immigrants.
dehumanize
So you're an
folks.
undocumented immigrant
Yes,
person?
undocumented is consistent with how our law makes sense and defines people, undocumented.
But it's not just that they don't have the documents. They don't have the documents because they're not qualified.
Some people are asylum seekers waiting for their paperwork. Some people have temporary protected status. Some people are DACA recipients. So there's a long list of people that are here illegally.
Okay,
that
I
should
would like
be
to
not
change.
just called illegal.
I'm more liberal than you on this. I would actually change. Well, maybe you would too. I would change the policies to make it easier for them to be legal immigrants. I want to change the law. I don't want to change what we call them. That's such a stupid. Oh, don't worry, you're not. Your feelings aren't hurt now. Now we're calling you an undocumented immigrant as we throw you in the back of a van and take you to detention center and then send you to El Salvador. But don't worry, we didn't call you an illegal immigrant. Your feelings are not hurt now. Do you see how stupid that is?
I didn't
It's
watch
insulting
that young
to our
man's whole
intelligence.
segment about why but his point still remains. Just because you don't like the point doesn't mean it's not a fact. He's saying that people cannot be illegal.
That young
by
man,
nature.
he's 20-something. He's
a young man.
He's Cameron
young
Kasky.
man.
He's one of, you know who that is? He's one of the Parkland shooting survivors, and
okay.
he's gone
I've never
on
seen
to
him
have
in
a
this public,
subsequent. No, he's
in this
talks,
public forum.
Well, he used to just talk mostly about gun control, given the experience he went through, and then he was running recently in the he was going to run in that Democratic primary for one of the New York open seats, and he got out of that. So.
Well, I've never seen him debate in this way on CNN. It's my first time seeing him on air, and Scott Jennings seems confused.
We've interviewed him on Rising. Lindsey.
Well, maybe I wasn't here.
Maybe you weren't
Robbie.
here that day.
You know,
Maybe it was Niall.
it's only my first year. Can I get a year in review like
No,
President
it was
Trump?
in the last year, but it might have been Niall rather than you. I don't know.
I would have remembered. I don't forget any of our interviewees. Now, NYC Mayor Zohran Mamdani returned to ABC's The View, and he called for abolishing ICE. We'll be right back to hear his comments.